تنيري ساستانقم لكتفوت ميديون لتسنيت لدى الشكوى.
Mohammed makes fresh pancakes every morning. We eat them with various jams and honey, coffee and juice. And when we're done, we'll get our horses saddled up and we are on our way for another day's adventure. We are headed towards the second point on the map. I believe it's pronounced Tagu. We rode along a wadi, that's a riverbed. About a week before, there was extreme rain, so we had to improvise and find new ways to navigate. You could easily sink in quite deep, and that's not something either you or your horse would like to do. And we did this until we got to these wide open spaces where we could move along a lot freer. As you can see, the terrain is quite devoid of oases. Little patches of green here and there must have been a very welcome treat to the travelers way back in the days where such traveling could be life and death if you didn't actually get to an oasis. The most prickly trees you've ever seen. Uh-oh, mine is down. Hey! Ouse! Mine! Well, she rolled with my saddle. Hopefully it's okay. Well, we had lunch and I'll let friends do that on an iPhone a little bit about. And this is where we are. I mean, wow. So amazing. As you can see, we did find a little shade to tie our horses up. And as you heard, my horse got a good roll with the saddle on and all, so oh well. After our picnic, we continued to ride to Az Isfaul. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Looks like there's a fortress or something off in the distance there. It's definitely a small town, and hopefully we can get water for the horses. They're very hardy, but still. The break was really short. Most of the time, like in Bosnia or Tuscany, it's almost an hour and a half break, and Here, that's just not really the case. It's pretty short. I would say that was definitely less than an hour, maybe 45 minutes, but that's about it. Oh. I very often like to keep my horse back and then just let her do a really fast gallop to catch up, because otherwise she's got her ears back and is making a warfare with all the other horses. We started a really beautiful long canter here. You can see the trail is lovely, but the GoPro was just bouncing around on my chest too much and I deleted it. I didn't want to put anybody through watching that. Well, as you see, that was like the tail end of it, and it's still giving me a lot of trouble. I'll figure it out. I think we continued on, though.
He wants, I think, us in a line, honey, and keep a distance.
Yeah, we picked up the canter again. We had a lot of lovely long canters that day, and tomorrow I believe we're getting a really fast one. That'll be very exciting. My horse is kind of jumping around because I let them go ahead so that I don't have to wrestle with her to keep her off a horse's tail end. I just prefer to let everybody tear off into the distance and then do a nice fast gallop to catch up, and yeah, it's fun. Yep, or hollering stop or slow down, because it's really quick how fast you're on a horse in front of you if you don't kind of alert people. And I've got a lot of riders behind me, at least, see if I got 3 in front of me. I got 5 horses behind me, so yeah. Anyway, the footage is a little better, and as you can see, it's a really beautiful gallop. You just through the desert. It's just really amazing. This is a really good day. All right, I just cut off our very, very long canter because the camera was just jumping around too much. But as you can see, we're coming up on a fortified village that's made of earth and clay. These villages are traditional pre-Sahara habitats. They are often located along historic trade routes, and they for defense actually. And there are homes in them, but they are inside and very densely clustered behind these very high defensive walls and towers. I can only imagine if one were traveling along these barren landscapes with camels laden down with goods to be traded. You made an easy target for thieves and organized bands, just heavily armed with swords and a lot of bad intent.
Gosh, this must have been even a fortress in its day.
Imagine the relief you would have felt when you safely arrived at one of these defenses before sunset. What an amazing construction. This castle, like a little kingdom out here. Long past its prime. Yep. So a little kingdom on the edge of the Sahara. Blocking it off a bit so kids don't get in, but I bet they do. It's been a long day of riding. We'll soon be arriving at our camp, which features sand dunes towering above our heads. And here we broke our camp and tying up our horses, taking time to call people if you have reception, hanging out and just watching the world, the sunset, feeding our horses, and making a tent where we'll relax in for the rest of the evening. As sunset approached, we took one of the horses and went up on the sand dunes and did a little photo op. It was a lot of fun. It really was. I would highly recommend this trip for anyone. I think you do need to be able to handle horses at a very fast gallop, but I think once you got that wired, you're good to go. I think one of the nicest things about one of these rides is the people you'll meet sitting down to a scrumptious dinner and just enjoying the evenings with everyone. This was a beautiful tangine chicken. Oh, it was very good, and I highly recommend the food in Morocco.